Creepy things happen before the grave.
Good night, everyone. Lunchbox by Shuck. I'd only been back in the old neighborhood 3 weeks when I passed the yard sale a few blocks from my school. Pretty typical junk, really, except for a huge framed photograph of a vaguely familiar-looking young guy wearing a military uniform. My useless son. This was his stuff. The elderly woman dropped cigarette ash on the portrait as she gestured. Assorted garbage. I'll take $100 for everything. I flicked through a stack of old records, not really interested in them. I might have known your son. Was he in Iraq? He was somewhere or other. You might remember him. You're nearly his age. You teach at the old school now, right? Uh-huh. This threw me. I was sure I'd never met this lady before. Did something happen to him over there? Something happened to him everywhere. He always lost it, every once in a while. In prison, at 15. He didn't die, though, if that's what you're wondering. Disappeared 3 weeks ago. AWOL. I was drawn towards 3 battered metal children's lunchboxes behind a pile of horror videos. Cartoon characters were sun-faded: Ninja Turtles, Transformers, and Thundercats. Fuzzy memories were stirring somewhere. I picked one up for a moment. It rattled a little, with something large inside. A thermos flask, perhaps? Found those beneath my son's bed. Thought they might be collectible or something. What do you think? Something unpleasant was poking at my brain. I'd seen these lunchboxes before, clutched by classmates of mine 2 decades back. The other kids were very cruel, but my son just took it, walked away. They used to call him Lunchbox, because of his weight, I guess. He got slim in prison. I tried Fat Cat, but that was the first time he snapped. I stared for a long time at the big glossy portrait. It was Lunchbox, all right. Or about half of him, anyway. Kids are cruel, but they're just kids. Kids forever, sometimes. The Transformers box belonged to Gary Conway, who made fun of Lunchbox staggering around the running track. Gary set off from school one afternoon carrying his lunchbox and never came home. Neither did Paul Speck, big Thundercats fan, vanished without a trace. And Nigel Huffman, obsessed with the Ninja Turtles, disappeared. Nigel and Paul used to walk behind the big guy, imitating his lumbering footsteps. I walked off in a daze, recalling I'd once spotted Lunchbox loitering by some bushes while I walked home. He stared at me blankly as I passed. We moved away soon afterwards. I remember that rattle in the old box I held. It was the sound of something roundish and hollow. Perhaps made of bone? I almost screamed. Had I recently seen Lunchbox? In the flesh? The slimline version? Perhaps I had, hanging around outside the school these last couple of days, staring dispassionately back at me. I was the one who gave him his nickname. I began to run, swinging my new job gift for my wife, an expensive metal lunchbox.